on the way here. It's going to be Team Inigma on the defense first, and looking at the roster, it's going to be Nerd Slayer here on the McCree, Dota Genius on Lucio, Chubasu on the Junkrat, Raytech on Widowmaker, Sky on Symmetra, and Bune on the Mercy. So not a huge surprise there. Mercy, Symmetra, very standard. Junkrat, very standard. And of course, McCree, he's absolutely the standard right now.
Yeah, the universal standard. Although it looks like Dota Genius has swapped off onto the Reinhardt, so just giving that good frontline tanking. But meanwhile, on Team Nubris, we do have Buds back on that Widowmaker, Stoop on the Reinhardt, Coolmat on McCree, Minstrel on Lucio, Custer on the Mercy, and ID on Farah. Not uncommon to see Farah and Mercy come out on this first point. She's so good for getting up and over that sort of first choke point area and pushing in, putting the damage down, and then just breaking the team if she can get an ultimate up very quickly as they sort of get forced back behind the hotel area. It looks like the gates are open.
Yeah, highlights here to watch as we move forward. It's going to be, of course, ID on the Pharah looking to move in. Pharah play very dynamic here on Kings Row, but also the Widow duels. Buds versus Raytech is going to be a thing. Both Widows trying to put their team up one player advantage, looking for pickoffs and all the rest. And we should be entering the first team fight here in just a moment as we're just watching Hubris jockey for position.
Yeah, and it actually looks like Stu got a good fire strike off there. Managed to hit most of the team. They have been healed up, but there goes ID, landing the damage into the background. They're pushing forward. ID raining death from above, finds 2 kills. Can he push through and get the bunny as well in the back? Buzzing has a sniper. Down goes the Mercy.
ID comes in and gets an absolutely beautiful triple kill, looking for more, going to take out Symmetra, makes it a quad, just juggling people in the back. They waited for their opportunity, went in. ID had absolutely nothing in on top of him. Raytech was not able to take him out. And as a result, Nubris right now setting a very, very quick time as we are about to enter the streets phase here in Kings Row.
Yeah, and I'm going to be curious to see if there's any change there. Probably not, because it's looking really good right now, and especially if ID can find space with that fire, get up and above, and just land more of that damage, because his shots are looking on point right now. It actually looks like it's interesting, because Enigma are defending quite far forward. You normally see teams defend more back towards the sort of boundary, holding that area, citing that if they do start going down, what will happen is they'll basically lose the boundary point and actually lose quite a lot of ground there they just don't really want to lose. But meanwhile, Buds, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Buds is basically a Widowmaker on the flank.
Yep, he is in the back. We've seen Widows be really, really aggressive with this in the past, and the offense now taking the opportunity to move forward with Bud's distraction. Bud's is going to get taken out, but Nubris really not deterred here. You see ID coming in over the top. He does have barrage at the ready. In any moment now, he could be dropping that barrage. We'll see if they wait for Buds. It does look like they're backing up for a moment. Speed boost was used, so I think we're going to wait a moment here, but Nubris should be going in any second.
Yeah, I think what they're going to do is just hold up, try and get that barrier down, and then maybe land the Earth Shatter off the back of it, and then just go from there. But it looks like the fight is about to begin.
Here they go. ID coming in over the top. Will use the barrage. Takes out Bud, looking for more. Has 1 kill. And Bud's, in fact, getting to the back as Winston picks up the double. So a very, very decisive offense. Bud's, in fact, picking up 3 kills on that Winston. Everything going right there for the side Nubris, and they might be on the way to setting what could be a sub 3-minute time here on Kings Row. That possibility is absolutely there. And I gotta say, Inigma has to change something up very soon.
Yeah, it would look really, really good there for Nubris, especially because Bunny on the Mercy went down first, and that's always such a disaster. You've got to be so careful with these Mercy players. There's so many places on Kings Row, especially where you can just basically hide out and don't worry about too much about healing your team. Meanwhile, Bards finds a pick on Raytech, just dumps the gorilla on top of it. It looks like another engagement is about to begin.
Yeah, Coolmat coming out the Deadeye, gets all the value in the world, makes it a triple kill as Nubris not slowing their assault, keeping the momentum that they had before. The defense was not able to set as much as they want. You did see Chubbs come in with the Deadeye, but gets absolutely nothing done. Stoop charging in, trying to pin this Reinhardt, going to treat him to his hammer as the kill feed filling absolutely up in favor of Nubris here, and they're going to cap this out on.
Yeah, it's looking, there we go, that's the cap, and that was an amazing time, and just a really, really solid offensive there. They just did not let up the pressure. Nubris just kept killing and killing and killing, and what started happening was they were dying one by one, and that's such a nightmare situation when you're looking for that big res. You'll often see teams just let everyone die, and then the Mercy, who's nice and safe, will just pick everyone back up. But here, just kill after kill after kill, and it just finding all this damage, finds the first kill, drains down on the second one, and then goes and hunts down the Mercy, just making sure that she doesn't have enough time to get that resurrect up. Cleans up beautifully.
Yeah, ID definitely going in, and that was textbook Pharah there in the beginning, and that's why it's so important that you need to be, your McCree or your Widowmaker has to deal with the Pharah early on in a fight like that. If you don't deal with the Pharah, there's not a whole lot else that will deal with the Pharah, and as a result, you'll you let someone like ID get to the back like that, and it's something you cannot have happen for any reason, because he will capitalize on that mistake and he will kill your team.
Yeah, I mean, you basically got to be really careful, because the temptation is to sort of go for that Widowmaker versus Widowmaker duel, but on defense, you really want that Widowmaker to just hold back, and like you said, keep an eye out for that Pharah, because if she does start getting over the team, and if she does have free reign to rain justice from above, she will start taking everyone down with that damage out from Mercy, and there's no one else in position to take care of it, to sort of slow down some of that damage as we move into the second half there, and that was just an astoundingly good time. It's going to be up to Inigma to really pull something special out the back here, because they are just going to have to take this first point in good time and then push and push and push.
Yeah, I mean, time-wise, they're going to have to move in a way that they have not moved before, and this is where things can get difficult. We have seen matchups where, if you look back to, say, some of the more recent matchups between C9 and Envious, where both teams set blazingly fast times, but generally, a theme in Overwatch tends to be is that if one team sets a really quick time, they're probably more likely to defend, not just because of the quick time, but because they were so far above the other team that they were able to set that time in the first place. So, of course, their defense is going to be good enough to defend. Doesn't always work out that way, but certainly a very good omen here for Nubris as they roll in to the second round here on Kings Row. And speaking of Nubris, their lineup is going to be ID on the Junkrat, Buds on the Widowmaker, Stoop on Reinhardt, Cool Matt on the McCree, Minstrel on Winston, and Kusta gonna round things out here on the Mercy.
Winston pick fascinates me. I'm very curious to see what he's going to be doing with that. But meanwhile, Inigma, Raytek on Widowmaker, Chubby Sue on the McCree, Nerd Slayer on the Roadhog, Sky on Lucio, Dota Genius on the Diva, and Bunny. No, Dota Genius has decided to swap and go for Mercy. No, he's swapping around all the time, going for Reinhardt, keeping me on my toes, and Bunny back on the Mercy. I'm super curious about what this Winston's going to be looking to do and what he's going to be looking to find. Is he just going to go and try and hunt down Raytek, or is he going to just try and dump a bubble on top of the team and keep them safe from any damage coming over the top?
I think he's going to be there to really help them solidify their defense. If they get a pick early on from Buds, I think you're going to see Minstrel jump onto the team, and they're going to be very, very aggressive in wiping out the offense here coming up for Enigma. I think that is a big reason as to why they have the Winston. But here we go. The offense not wasting any time. Usually offenses wait a bit, but they know they don't have time to waste. They're speed boosting in. Here comes the team of Enigma. They look for here for the Roadhog hook. They do hook Kusta back, but he's going to get out in time. And Minstrel now with the counter push, leaping in on top of them. Still not the worst look here for the offense. They pick up 2 quick kills, and Matt here on the point, turning into a bit of a brawl right now.
Yeah, that was a very, very curious battle. Meanwhile, Raytek finds ID, does take him down. Bunny comes in with the res, so Dota Genius is back up and running. They could just be re-engaging off the back of this as Reinhardt trying to hold out against this Roadhog, who does have McCree there in support, so he will just force him back. But they're taking this point in good time. There's 3 people on it, and it's not being contested.
Yeah, Matt is one of the last people up here. He is going to go down right before the resurrection hits. Stoop and Minstrel are back up, so Nubris is not giving this up just yet. We'll see if the tank play can hold it on, because McCree is down. They're not going to have that DPS backing them up. And in fact, it's looking like Inigma coming very, very close to capturing this. But again, Nubris hanging in there. Minstrel somehow staying alive. Kusta at his back. And now look at ID. ID back into the fight finally. Junkrat throwing bombs down the point, trying to clean things out. But the big hammer comes down from Dota Genius as he's going to charge out Cool Matt. And this might be all Inigma needs to take this point.
Oh man, Minstrel was doing well there. I've never seen a gorilla dance quite as well as that one did. He was just jumping all over the place, kept alive by Mercy. But meanwhile, I've got to give a shout out to Raytek. He was in the back there on that Widowmaker and just found snipe after snipe after snipe, jumping around all over the place, keeping him mobile, repositioning. Now he's going toe-to-toe with Buds, so it's going to be interesting to see who gets the upper hand in this battle as Raytek zip lines away. Will he find the pick, or will Buds get the better of him as they just start grinding forward? And this is actually looking really good for Inigma. That was a really solid push.
It's really good for them. The only thing that really goes against them is the fact that the push from Nubris was even faster to begin with. So Nubris is still ahead on time, though Nubris definitely not liking the way this is looking here this far. We'll see if they can have a better defense in the street space. Deadeye, though, coming out from Cool Matt is high noon everywhere on both teams, waiting for the shields to go down. Will drop it, uses it to crack the Reinhardt shield as Raytek gonna take out Buds. But overall, the Earth Shatter comes down from Stoop, knocks down 3 people on Inigma. But there's not the follow-up there to really deal with it just yet.
Yeah, it looks like Nubris were a little bit scared there. There comes the offensive res, picking people back up. And Dota Genius, meanwhile, in the front line, just swinging away. There's the Earth Shatter, does set up Raytek for the kill on the Mercy as well, and it's looking really good. This might actually be a faster time through the streets than what Nubris had, because Nubris did stall out for a little while, and this is surprising aggression coming out of Inigma. Did Nubris underestimate Inigma a little bit? That's the big question.
I think they definitely underestimated a little bit. but 25 seconds are remaining here, so as a result, even if they get to the streets checkpoint here, they're not going to have enough time to really complete this, but still a pretty good time being put out from the side of Inigma. Meanwhile, though, look at ID. ID has Barrage up at the ready. He's over a whole bunch of people right now, going to have to deal with the Winston, but if he deals with Winston, he can drop the Barrage here any second, and that would absolutely seal this game if it's not sealed already. He's just going to back out.
Yeah, he's going to back out. It was a little bit tentative there. We did have the comical situation of two Reinhardts backing into each other, but it looks like time has been called, so they won't be able to make it to the end. But that was actually a really, really good showing from Inigma. That was very surprising. After that dominant offensive from Nubris, I was expecting things to be a little bit more one-sided, but I'm impressed. Enigma looking really good at the moment as it just finishes himself off. They will push to the end. This is the so-called truck of tears in soapbox mode, and we will get to see the play of the game as the result. So I'm very curious to see what that's going to be, actually. It might be
Dota Genius. It's either Raytech or it could be Dota Genius. I gotta say, Dota Genius's Reinhardt play was pretty impressive. He had some really good moments, both on just Fire Strikes, Earth Shatters, and Charges. So Dota Genius, and there it is, he is going to get play of the game, and I'm not surprised at all. This is a pretty good game for him on the offense.
Yeah, so just find that first kill, and Coolmat will swing away, finish off the Lucio. Oh, cornered as well, that always feels so bad. And then the Earth Shatter here just sets it up nicely for the sniper, picked up, and poor ID just left there as well for Dota Genius and Raytech to clean up. Really well played by them. I wouldn't feel too bad about that. I mean, like we said, Nubris is one of the oldest and most well-organized teams around. So having that good a showing, that's actually really damn good. I'm impressed. Yeah, and I mean, just to give some kind words here to Inigma, I think back to some of the players on the team. I don't recognize a whole lot of them, but I have seen Raytech in pubs before. I think I've seen Chubbs in pubs before too, and they're definitely a newer team player-wise. I don't think a lot of them go all the way back to Bay 1, but they're putting up a pretty good showing here today, and sort of shows, you know what, there's a lot of potential in the Overwatch scene. But speaking of Inigma, looking at the roster as they run out here, it's going to be Raytech again on the Widowmaker. Dota Genius, interesting. I think he's switching the Reinhardt. I think he just went Lucio the speed booster and out. He's going back out. I doubt we'll see 3 support. Sky on the Symmetra, Bunny on the Mercy, Nerdslayer on McCree, and Chubb's going to run things out here on the Junkrat. And there it is. Dota Genius will, in fact, be switching to Reinhardt. So that's one thing that sort of fools people sometimes because is that why are they running Lucio? Sometimes Lucio is just there to get your Symmetra out a little bit quicker. Yeah, of course, with no one hero limit, you usually see like 3 or so Lucios speed boosting the Symmetra out so you can get all 6 of those turrets set up as soon as possible. Meanwhile, we do have Nubris setting up. We have ID on Genji, very aggressive there. Buzz on Widowmaker, Stoop on the Winston, Coolmat on McCree, Custer back on the Mercy, and Minstrel on Lucio. And I do like this team lineup. Very set up to move vertically, basically take that high ground as quickly as possible as the team does set up on this balcony, which is pretty much the default now, pretty much the standard, especially with Widowmaker sort of setting up back there with Raytech, just overlooking things as the team advances forward.
They will advance forward. Stoop is going to be leaping in very aggressively. ID will be in after them, and they're going to go right onto the point. In fact, going right on the point into the back. They're looking for the high ground. Dota Genius spins Kusta to start with. That was a huge pickoff. Stoop is going to kill Dota Genius in turn, but there will be no Mercy Resurrection now coming out for the offense. I can't believe Kusta got caught there. Dota Genius continuing a trend of excellence in these games right now.
Yeah, that was a super interesting push as well, just taking the low ground and going straight into this back alley. And I think Inigma aren't quite sure how to deal with it right now. I think they're just going to try and turtle up on the point. They just need to sort of reposition onto this high ground that overlooks to where Nubris ran to. But they also got to keep an eye out for Custard, because you can catch that Mercy on the way back. That could be a very easy, clean pick. But it looks like we're beginning the sniper duel. Raytech going up against Buzz. Can't quite find the hidden, but there's a Winston bubble just protecting Buzz right now. It looks like they're about to begin the fight.
Fight is about to be underway. The Widow's still looking for those important picks, but here comes Stoop leaping in. Matt going in off the speed boost, playing in the McCree fire. ID is able to take out Nerdslayer in the back, and now the offense really supporting us up at this point. ID going crazy, has the double, now triple kill. ID bringing the pain, has the Dragon Blade up, and we might be seeing the Dragon Blade come out here any second right now. In fact, no, he's going to hit the Junkrat trap and die instead. ID could have gone even more crazy. Meanwhile, though, Matt still making things happen, will get taken out, and this was looking really, really good for the offense. Could be a hold for the defense of Inigma. We'll see. It looks like Stoop able to clean up too towards the end.
Yeah, so what happened there was basically Custer, he didn't have the Resurrect available just in time when they really might have needed it, but he just managed to get up just in time just to save that offensive, just to bring everyone back and make sure that they're ready to go. Bunny, of course, had that Resurrect up and ready a little bit earlier, but basically Nubris won the fight twice, a little bit earlier and a little bit cleaner and a little bit quicker. It getting all those kills, basically just set them up, so the Resurrect comes out nice and early, and then Bunny has to be forced to use it, and then suddenly Custer can come in with a later res, pick the rest of the team back up, and they can capitalize off the back of that aggression.
All right, the offensive Nubris right now getting ready for their next fight. The payload moving forward. The defense is set. We're taking a look at ID. ID still has his Dragon Blade. Coolmat has Deadeye at the ready. We could be seeing the speed boost and initiation here any second right now. And the defense right now giving them a little bit of space, not wanting to really go in just yet. But here we go. Speed boost is out. Sound barrier is out. And ID moving in with reckless abandon. Takes out Bunna immediately. Helps get a double kill in the back. And this is a well-coordinated assault coming out from Nubris. And they got just about everything they wanted there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just it blitzed through the front line there, went straight into the back, had that Mercy in his sights, and just cut her down brutally. It was just insane how aggressive he went into there, just found the Mercy kill very quickly. Chubisu needed, I think, just to hug that Mercy a little bit closer, maybe just provide a little bit more defense with that flashbang, be ready for that aggression, but that just opened the team right up. That's a very, very quick time for Numbani pushing through that street space. Of course, this is where the real Dark Souls begins. Basically, the team set up on this high ground and trying to push through this corner can be very, very difficult. We do see stallouts here occasionally just drag on and on for a little bit as teams struggle to break this corner especially.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of teams sort of get stalled out here, even after a great offense early on. Enigma looking to channel that sort of defense here, and Hubris looking to just finish this out very, very quickly. Note that Matt does have a Deadeye, Kusa does have a Resurrection up. Both teams have Resurrection up. We should be seeing initiation here any moment. Deadeye will be coming out from Matt here. Just a moment. He's got flashbang over the top. A big Earth Shatter coming in from Stoop, setting up Matt for 2 kills. Nubris coming in strong here. Sky, one of the last people on the card, going to be taken out by Minstrel. 4 total kills, but look at the Resurrection coming in from the defense. Will it be enough, though? They're moving in Primal Rage at the ready as Bud's cleaning up the back.
Yeah, Buds is just up there on the high ground, just sniping away. Meanwhile, you have Stoop on the point, swinging all down as Reinhardt. It looks really, really good right now for Nubris as they're pushing forward. And the big difference there with that initial engagement is that one Reinhardt had Earth Shatter available and the other one didn't. Oh, as Buddy comes out with the Diva, trying to buy time. Wouldn't surprise me to see Trace come out as well, just to try and open up a little more time. Time really matters here because it is stopwatch rules, so every second bought can be a massive difference. As we saw on King's Row, it's just a matter of seconds before the end. The judge comes down. Oh, yes, they managed to do it.
And at the very end, Buds was just going off. He was effectively playing Dunk Hunt, getting every single shot he could possibly hope for and more. Really good play coming out from Buds at the end.
And Bunny with the play of the game, so this is going to be one of those massive revives. It's going to be the one at the start. So as you see, this is, I think, soon after it just basically goes and cleans up in the back, just pick up 4 people, start spamming down. Of course, he will get picked off there by Coolmat just now after the damage from coming in from Winston. But yeah, that was a really good showing from Nubris, really good aggression there on that final point. And it was so interesting to see that engagement go off where both McCree stand over the Reinhardt shield, but one Reinhardt has Earth Shatter and the other one doesn't. And that's just the massive difference in ultimate advantage in Overwatch.
Yeah, I mean, one team has more ults than you have. It can be absolutely brutal to defend. Teams defend all the time. It is something that you can work around, but you have to respect it. You have to play a little bit more defensive against a team that has ults. And in that case, when a McCree is able to break your Reinhardt with the stun and the other Reinhardt is coordinated enough to hit an Earth Shatter while he's stunned, it's very hard to deal with that. And now with the time of 4:29 being set here, Nubris flew through pretty quickly. And we'll see if Enigma can sort of channel that same sort of offense. And they kind of did back on King's Row. So for those who might be thinking Nubris has this, it's over. Not so fast. I think Enigma still has a pretty good chance here.
Yeah, I think Enigma just had to be really aggressive. They had to really take advantage of that first push here. And I'm seeing some interesting hero picks right now coming out. So let's look at Nubris very quickly. So Nubris taking the Winston. ID on the May. I'm very curious to see if that's going to stay. Buds, of course, on the Widowmaker. Minstrel on Torbjorn, and I really like this pick, and I'll get to that in a moment. Custer looking for Mercy, and Coolmat on McCree. And Torbjorn, I think it's just mostly here to buy time. If they can stall out a little bit, get that Molten Core set up, and just set him up on the opposite side, it can buy you so much space. And I think they really kind of need that space right now, because on their offensive, they ran through and wasted a lot of time, basically just messing around inside the Ateria building, Atria building, and not really aggressing on the point for a while.
Yeah, I mean, the offense, it was a little bit weird in regards to how they set that up. I think what really messed up their offense there is that Kusta died so early. It was the great charge coming from Dota Genius that delayed Mercy there, or took out Mercy and sort of forced a delay in the offense. I think they were probably intending going a lot quicker. And looking here at the defense as it's fully rolled out here, it's going to be Stoop on a Winston, ID on a May, Buds on Widowmaker, Minstrel on the Torbjorn, Kusta on the Mercy, and Matt on the McCree. And this is interesting. Usually when you'd see Torbjorn here, you'd see it as sort of a double builder defense with a Symmetra, but it's just going to be Torbjorn on his own and no Symmetra, so Nubris not really valuing a teleporter here.
Yeah, I think they really are trying to just play for time. They do have the turret set up on the sort of the opposite high ground, so they're hoping maybe that Enigma's just going to push up straight through the middle, just go sort of the standard pathway, which is go up the stairs, push through the middle on top of the, I think it's the hotel that they're trying to push onto. And then that Tourbillon turret can basically just get a lot of damage down if you aren't prepared to deal with it and you're trying to deal with the rest of the team at the same time. So here they come, Dota Genius just poking his face out. There's damage going onto the turret, and they're not really actually finding much aggression here, so there's not much damage coming out.
The Mei wall has split them in half. It's letting the offense be a lot more aggressive in breaking that Reinhardt shield. It's one of the advantages of Mei here, but Raytech doesn't care, immediately takes out Mei. Mei a little bit out and exposed, and the offense, though, starting to get picked off here as Toolmat picks up the double kill. Still the offense being a little bit adding on to the pressure, but Matt and Bud's going to clean up the rest. So rough go there for Inigma. I kind of like the approach, but I will say the Mei, pretty interesting here in the money.
Yeah, and I really like the Mei pick here. It's one of those things that I've sort of played around with mentally, is the idea of playing Mei when you're trying to stall for time, because she's so good at just creating space for herself, making, just stalling out your offense, just slowing you down, making sure you can't push as reliably as you want to. And when time is everything to play for, she's going to be so vital there. It's going to be curious to see if they're going to be wary of pushing through that, because Mei, like, ID is ready. He's just sat there waiting for this Reinhardt to poke his nose out and try and isolate him for another basically brutal storm onto him. So here they go, and there, Mercy is cut off once again as battle is joined.
As the battle is joined, Chubbs tried to go in and punish. He was not able to do that. Got taken out immediately. He did take out Matt beforehand, and they immediately res Matt back up. Big res, though, going to come up here from the side of Enigma. 3 people brought back up. But look at Matt now. He's in a great position to drop the Deadeye if anyone moves in. He's actually going to save it, sees the free flashbang kill, and takes it. As Minstrel going to clean up some of the back. And again, a pretty decisive defense here. In fact, Minstrel using molten quartz at big effect.
Yeah, one of the interesting things that's happening is basically this turret on the opposite side is just staying up. No one's really taking out very quickly. It's going to be up to Raytech. He's the only real ranged option here. Maybe a bit of burst damage coming out from Reinhardt with the Fire Strike. But McCree, especially over sort of moderate distance, can't kill a turret in very quick time. And unfortunately, it was just Nerd Slayer trying to bring it down. And Winston trying to take out a turret, that's going to take a little bit of time, especially if the Tourbillon's around. But it looks like they're going to push straight for the
going
point.
right in. The Blizzard is going to come out here from Mei. They're giving Mei exactly what she wants. She's going to zone a lot of them out with that Blizzard. They have to move to the left. Chubzone takes out one in the very beginning here as Matt coming in over the top gets the double kill with the Deadeye. Not going to be able to take out Raytech just yet, but Matt is a huge problem here for the offense. If you do not take out Cool Matt early on when going against Nubris, he will punish you horribly, but he is going to get taken out by a charge from Dota Genius. So all hope is not lost yet here for the offense.
Yeah, Dota Genius just finding those important charges, but it's just too little too late there. Cool Matt, again, just finding kill after kill after kill. And it was really, really interesting to see Minstrel as well just adjust that position, move the turret basically across from where they were expecting it to be. Raytech got caught up in a battle against Custer as well, of all people, who just sort of pistoled down the Widowmaker on that Mercy. That pistol really does pack a punch. You can't underestimate it. But meanwhile, Raytech looking for a snipe, trying to find what he can, just poking his nose out. Will he find a target though? As meanwhile, Tourbillon setting up once again right behind the point as well. And I think it's looking really good right now for Nubris.
Yeah, I mean, for this next push, Minstrel is going to be able to pop Molten Core if they get any sort of threatening pressure here at all. As Buds takes out Raytech. Raytech went for the grapple shot, was immediately punished. Matt taking out Sky in the back. 3 kills here for the defense. And as a result, they're probably not even going to need the pop Molten Core. They'll be able to save that for the next attack. And I'm just going to note here, time-wise in general, we've been talking about this first point. Mathematically, I don't really think Enigma can come back and win this. This has been such a good hold. There's 1 minute left total, so overall it should be GG. In fact, they're going to call GG right this second. There it is. Nubris will move on, but not a bad effort coming out from the side of Enigma, especially if you look back to what happened on King's Row.
Yeah, that was a really good showing by them. I think they should definitely re-enter on Friday, definitely take part in that tournament. I think with a little bit more of a favorable bracket, they could try and make it into that top 2.